I'm going to demonstrate my method of making single servings of vegetable juice. Now I want to point out that I'm wearing non-latex powder-free gloves, and also to use my method I use the wide mouth ball jars. And if you do a close-up here, Jerry, of the feet, I've extended my feet an extra inch and using a 1/4 inch bolt and 4 nuts, and that gives enough height so the ball jar can go under here easily. So to begin, I'll start with some greens. I'll take some Russian kale here, and it's very important to keep this covered, because if you don't, you're going to get splash up to the ceiling. Keep it covered with your hand or the pusher. And I'm going to alternate greens with carrots, 12 of garlic, golf-sized beets, more greens, a couple of broccoli leaves, idea not to shove it down all the way when you're doing greens. More carrot. Remember, keep it covered. Another piece of ginger. Carrot. Now I'm going to shut that off. You never want to be more than 2/3 full. And when you're removing this, put another jar under to catch any drippings. And the next step, and notice I've got my cloth overhanging the countertop. You want to minimize the amount of cloth touching the countertop. Now this cloth I'm going to fold without paper napkins, which I'll demonstrate in the next cloth if I can remember. And you fold it in thirds like so. Put it in the press. Advance this all the way and then back it off a little bit. And you want to back it off a little because the bags will squirt at you if you don't. You have to go slowly with the hydraulic press. So let's start again, making another cloth. Begin with a carrot. Couple of greens. A little bit of ginger, a little bit of garlic. Another carrot. Keeping it covered. Golf ball sized beets. Leaves and all. Advance this a little more. And a little bit more greens. All the way. Now, as I said before, this goes under immediately. Into the cloth. Oops, I forgot the paper napkin. I'll try to remember to do that next time. Advance it all the way, back it off a little bit. We'll throw this pulp away. Pretty dry pulp. Notice how it sticks a little bit when you have greens. And this next time, we're going to line it with a paper napkin. This minimizes the greens sticking to the cloth. And if you're doing fruit juice, you definitely want to have a paper napkin. Or let's start with a carrot. had a blowback there. Pepper. A little bit of cucumber. Carrot again. Another clove of garlic. More greens. Dance that all the way. Let's put one more carrot in. Now that's a little bit more than 2/3 full, but let's make this our last piece for single serving juices. We'll make 2 or 3 servings here probably. Put the pulp inside the paper napkin. Scrape off the grid. Put the pulp from the grid into that. Clean the grid. Cold water only, never soap in water. We'll put that up here to dry. I'm going to take the cutter off. And get the rest of the pulp into the cloth. And this cloth looks like it's a little bit over full, but I think we'll manage. Cleaning the juicer is the best part. All you need is a quick rinse. Cleaning the juicer, I like to use a bottle brush just to loosen any minuscule organic calcium that might remain. And that's it. Taking the cutter off, if you have gloves on, you can remove it easily. If not, use a paper towel or a cloth towel. Again, use the bottle brush. Set that up here to dry. The next step, and I'll clean these later because I want this demo to go quickly. Brush it off with a sponge. Now I have a little squirt mechanism to squirt it there. That's all there is to it. And my cleanup takes literally 45 seconds. Now the feed tube has to go back on or the machine will not start. There's a magnetic reed switch that prevents it from going on, a safety feature. Alright, let's take our cloth, fold it over. Our napkin, that is a little bit full, so I'm going to place another napkin on top. So fold it over in thirds. Oh, this is a nice full bag, almost too full. Off. This last cloth fold with the pulp, back it off a little bit, turn it on. Now if you've got a good pulp alternation with greens and carrots, you won't get any greens sticking like now. So while that's pressing, I'm going to wash the cloth with cold water, fold it in thirds. Just like the K package, and set that aside. Let's center that a little bit better, press it more. And to me, and while we're waiting, we'll just clean these jars. That's about all the juice we're going to get from that cloth. So just to demonstrate how the paper towel makes it real easy to lift out. And if you're doing apple juice, you definitely want to use cloths. And if you're doing just vegetable juice, you can or cannot. Depends on how you alternate carrots with greens. Greens only will stick to the cloth. So if you do greens only juice, like the Gerson Institute recommends, you definitely want to have paper napkin in there. Okay. Fold it in thirds. Set that aside. Take my tray, rinse it clean. Place the cloths in here and we'll squeeze the water out after we see how much juice we got. So let's take a look. Out of that produce, I'm guessing we got more than 2 bottles. These are recycled Snapple bottles. Almost 2 bottles. So the last step will be, and this partial bottle I'm going to drink immediately. The other one will go in the fridge. And on the bottles you want to top it off to the very top without oxygen. I'll clean that later. The cloths, you definitely want to squeeze the water out. If you don't, you'll never get them out of the freezer because you store them in the freezer. And without squeezing the water out, they will be impossible to get apart. Anytime you touch a countertop, wash your hands. Plumbing, this is very important. And these cloths are going to go into the freezer. Okay, Jerry, I hope that was helpful. And you can shut off the camera.